Hey everybody, Rye here, and welcome back to some more Loren the Amazon Princess. We have a decision to make, to fight Cruel or take the orcs hostages. I don't get what taking the orcs hostage would actually do, because Cruel's a very cruel person. You know what? Remember what was said about him by Dora? We got 3 pieces of advice. We were told that if he can find a situation to exploit, he would exploit it. The information that Amakiki gave us was that if the orcs were shown that their leader was not worth fighting or fighting for, then if he was not as strong as a leader as they thought he was, then they wouldn't follow him anymore. I think we have to fight Cruel, because I think Cruel would just cut through the orcs like hot butter. Alright, let's do it. Loren and Saren ran at Cruel with their weapons ready. The barbarian had gone too far. Dora attempted to stab Cruel as he tried to get the arrow from his neck, and in that next moment, the entire party was on top of him, trying to get a piece of him. Okay, we have to have Dora in our group for sure. Let's get Draco in here. Let's get you in here. Who would be the best front range opponent? Let's go with Misfit. Oh my god, level 19? I think we need to deal with all of his little buddies here first. Alright, let's give it a try. Let's go with Paralyze. Saren.
Try this on for size.
Here we go, Draco. That's the ticket.
They should have surrendered when they had the
chance.
chance.
Ooh. Sit down. We just have to keep doing what we're doing here. Draco can finish off the 3 in the back. Dora, you just focus on her. Actually, Dora can finish off that last orc back there. Let's see what... No, no, no. There we go. Oh shit, Misfit, no. There we go. And nothing to sniff at. Reach 50 skill. I can get behind that. Very abrupt, but let's just check. Who could use it? Rammus could probably, but his gemstone axe is the best weapon possible for him, I think. Oops. Yeah, why don't I do this? Give him an extra weapon. That might make him a lot more useful. The large barbarian hollered in pain and fell to one knee. You cheat. No honor. Silence! Loren unleashed a final blow, and Cruel was permanently silenced. After Cruel was dealt with, the various orc leaders split off into separate directions, breaking apart the army. They all scampered away, leaving only the dead strewn about in the field. A great sense of accomplishment flooded the group. Horus was now safe again. I would say we just achieved the impossible, but we have an even more impossible task ahead of us. This feat will pale in comparison. General Samael should be notified immediately. Ah, thank God. I wonder what would have happened if we put him hostage. I might go back and take a look. See how that changes things. Let's go with shield defense. My buddy Draco. Karen, I think you should get maybe Death Blow. Actually, no, let's go with Strike Through. Trouble, who I haven't really used that much. His strength could be increased, though. Power attack. Misfit. Let's go with Doom Gaze. Ray will give Bleeding Strike. Nerf? My god, you're still underleveled. Let's go with Smoke Cloud. Alright, looks good. Back in the city, the homes that were once burning were now being rebuilt not only by the help of the Empire soldiers, but by the Elven Rangers as well. Together, the two sides helped fix what the demons had too easily destroyed. My men told me that the army has dispersed. I could hardly believe it, but they're gone. Not one blasted orc to be found. It was more difficult than we imagined, but it's over now. That men will terrorize no one any longer. I said I would deal with him, and I have. I suspect that the council will recognize this. Yes, I will personally vouch for your leadership. I did not think I would say that, believe you me. He gave the group an elusive grin. There is still much to be done around here. If you could lend a hand or 10, this town would be obliged. Loren nodded. She directed everyone to help do what they could in cleaning up the town, healing the wounded, and restoring homes. It was in this time that Saren came to realize Loren's charitable side. It was hard to consider her a selfless person by her serious, even harsh way of speaking and acting. But watching her in action outside of battle showed him that there was a whole side to her that she tried hard to conceal. Being Amazon royalty did come with certain expectations, he supposed, but it was more than just learning to find the more favorable sides of Loren. She was actually becoming a better person. Even just in the brief time they had spent together, he saw growth in her, and even in himself for that matter. But it was Loren who would one day be Amazon Queen and the leader of the world's greatest army. As far as Saren was concerned, she was born ready. Both Cruel and Jewel were now dead. Loren needed to return to the Citadel to report her progress and hopefully gain control of the Grand Army. Hell yeah, man! I almost want to go back there right now to see what would happen. I'm sure he would do something very stupid. Cruel, I mean. Just looking around and talking to everybody, seeing what would happen. That was one heck of a fight against Cruel and the orcs. Yeah. I know we were trying to not to fight the whole army, but it sure felt like it did, didn't it? I'm surprised by how difficult that encounter was as well. I'm even more surprised by Dora. You're surprised? I knew he exploded! I bet you're happy she's safe and sound. Got so mad when that slime huffer picked her up. Nearly exploded then too. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end. I am too. Amakiki was still recovering from his duel with Cruel. He was outmatched, but only through trickery. You did a good job. I did not win. You're alive. And honorless. Cruel was not yours to kill. I'm sorry we intervened, but we had to. The orcs were swarming you. Oh! Hold the orcs hostage so Amakiki could fight him one-on-one. Oh! I just realized what that meant. Shit. I told you, one of us was going to die that morning. I asked you to let me fight him. You said you would. You're alive, and I don't regret that for a second. Hate me if you want. Amakiki's eyes twitched from glaring at Saren too hard. He figured he should leave the gladiator alone. Shit. It's my bad completely. I did not realize. I mean, I'm not that far in. I could go back, but I know I already did that twice in the playthrough so far. I went back to make a different decision. This time, though, I think I'm going to pass on going back. How are you feeling now that Cruel is dead? Sorta nothing. Revenge isn't that sweet. Boo. Don't you feel good for having avenged your family? Maybe if I had actually killed him with that first stab, but then he picked me up and made a fool of me. Don't think of it like that. Not all battles are clean victories. Most of them aren't. Look at Amakiki. The duel did not end cleanly for him either. He was also taken advantage of, but he's still the victor. That's all that matters. Take pride in your victory. I suppose. It's just, my family ain't coming back no matter what I do, you know? I don't know why I ran off. I thought I'd kill them all by myself, but I ain't no assassin. I didn't know what to do once I got there. And well, I was scared. So I hid again, like I always do. Like an orc. They're icky. I believe that. So anyway, family's still dead. Didn't kill Cruel by myself, and I smell like orc. Cruel is dead and you helped. We're a team, remember? That's right. We're a team. Teamwork. I did my part and you guys did yours. Yep, that's right. I'm glad you understand now. Friendly Saren is best Saren. Let me leave, go back in, just make sure that nothing is triggered from me leaving. Hamakiki's pissed off at me. I'd be pissed off at myself too. I did not realize that was the meaning behind holding him hostage. I was like, what? Cruel's not going to care. But then I realized, oh, that's why. I feel like such a doofus. Loren and Queen Karen marched through the Citadel's gates, prepared to announce they had completed the 2 tasks. However, Braza interrupted their arrival. Majesties, do not tread further. Why not? Braza looked over her shoulder. Amazons laid on furs outside in the plaza, coughing and groaning as healers tended to them. What happened here? It's a plague, your highness. I beg of you, do not enter the Citadel or you will fall ill as well. How did this happen? The Amazons have always been stronger than common sickness. Saren closed his eyes, recalling his previous mistress. She had fallen sick so easily, and the healers were so unprepared that they succumbed to it. If I may say, while I was working in the clinic, there was little treatment for maladies, and I had seen Amazons struggle with their illnesses without ever consulting a healer. Amazons do not have maladies. They do, but you are too stubborn to admit it. Loren hushed and clenched her teeth. But to this scale? Magic must be to blame. Can you be so sure? That was my thought as well. Just before the plague started, my scouts reported some suspicious women to me. No one knew who they were or even recognized them. Foreign Amazons? I do not know, but they cannot be found again. They've completely disappeared and now we are plague-ridden. Those were not Amazons. They had to be illusions. Majesty? Like the illusions that started the war? Yes, we can ask Mirf and Apollomisho to be sure. So, the same dark forces are now targeting the Citadel? Such filth. Shall I consult with your magic experts with all I know? Yes, speak with the druid and the archwizard. Oh my god, everything just got, like, dialed up a couple notches here. Damn, I can't believe it got the plague. Is it the Black Plague? Or what is that plague that happened back in, like, days of pirate ships? Scurvy? I'm not even going to try to guess. Braza saluted and left. Loren watched the sick Amazons from a distance. She was not used to seeing her sisters so weak. She could not even enter her own home. Loren clenched her fists, swearing vengeance. After deliberation, Apollomisho and Mirf approached Loren. We have learned what we could from your scout commander. Indeed, illusion magic may be at play to infiltrate the Citadel. But what's more, the sickness itself runs deeper than any healing magic. It's not waging war on their bodies, but on their souls. What? What does that mean? This plague is the work of dark magic, and that is outside of our realm of knowledge. Everybody looks at Chambara. Oh god, it's like I can call it. It's like from a mile away I knew. Lucky for you, I'm here. Loren spun around to see Chambara making her way into the conversation. No one thought to ask me about dark magic? Anybody? We were about to. Oh, I'm sure. I will ask, Chambara, can you help my people? I might. I'm pretty good at making potions that cure this sort of stuff, but my potion book is back in my house. In the swamps? Then that is our next destination. Really? It was that simple? Only your entire race needed to contract an evil disease to get you to take me back home? Oh my god. Why didn't I try that sooner? Mirf sighed and Apollomisho grumbled under his breath. Oh my god, cure the plague! My word. Dark magic has stricken the Citadel. Our enemies are growing clever. They have learned our base of operations, and so our time of relative safety is growing short. Are you prepared? I have been preparing every day since the old war was won. Really? Why? You killed Foss. Didn't you think he was going to remain dead? At first I think I did, but I was so maddened by the end by what it took to win the war. I could not celebrate and live in peace. I was not allowed that. I spent the days after returning to the Grimoire studying Foss's kind and the realms. Days transformed into years, and now 40 years have passed. Why couldn't you celebrate? What happened at the end of the war that bothered you so much? My daughter. I lost my daughter. Was I supposed to celebrate after having ripped her from me, or having her ripped from me? I had to know what happened to her. I had to find out what I could do to help her. She died. No, I cannot give up hope. Do the side quests play a part at all? Oops. Just go through the names. The Citadel is at its weakest. Loren looked completely unfocused. Ma'am? The Amazons have always been prepared for war. We've always been ready and willing and strong. You're worried about your people. Of course I am worried. I'm relying on my sisters to dictate the tide of the war. You sound like a real Amazon leader now. Excuse me? I didn't before? I mean, now you are concerned about the welfare of your people. It's not my fault that I let this happen. I should have been there. I could have stopped whoever poisoned us. I could have killed them right then. It's not your fault, Loren. Don't blame yourself. I can if I want to. You would have gotten ill like your sisters if you had been there. Instead, you are healthy so that you may help them. Loren looked away, conceding that she would have gotten sick if she was at the Citadel. but secretly believing that she would have killed the rats responsible before they poisoned anyone. Ah, poor thing. How could dark magic befall the Amazons? Ma'am? I'm speaking to myself, I apologize. This is the first time I have seen the Amazons so vulnerable. It'll be alright. We are doing everything we can to cure them. The Citadel has always existed in isolation, and now that our gates open regularly, we have opened ourselves to this sort of attack. The Citadel needs to keep its gates open. We have seen the world, and it is a wondrous place. But the Great Mothers... You are the Queen. Can't you change laws? I can. I wonder if she will. How have you been enjoying your time with us so far? This is random. We talked with Apollo Micho and Karen and Loren and Ray. I must say, it's been rather enjoyable. At first I thought this excursion would be like my mercenary work in the past, walking long distances and shooing away the vermin that steps in our way. I'm happily mistaken. Hunting demons that are plotting to take over the world? That's straight from a Fey tale, and I'm a part of it. What's more, our targets are some of the toughest I've faced. Not quite as impressive as some of my past kills. But since I've already dealt with the worst, what more can you expect? You've dealt with stronger foes? Maybe a few. So yes, I'm quite satisfied with our hunting. Though we could stand for some longer breaks in between kills, a little rest and recuperation goes a long way. We already take many breaks at camp. I'm referring to inns in the city. Soft beds, professional food, fresh company. A soft bed would be nice, but we have to make do with what we have. I'm aware, I know. I've spent days without food or supplies on missions before, but I still ache for civilization now and then. I suppose that is natural. I'll talk to Loren about not bypassing cities from now on. How generous. Thank you. What are your thoughts on being dead? You know how I feel. It's not so bad. Of course, being a necromancer is the same for anyone who believes in life after death. Elysium, was it? If you believe such a paradise exists, you are like me. I just don't need religion as a middle step to comfort in passing. Oh my god, we're getting really deep here. We're going into like religious discussion and about like heaven and all that, or Elysium. Oh boy. What do you believe happens when you die? I don't pretend to know, I do know. We fall in the underrealm and live out eternity there. The magic of that world will keep us quite busy. Underrealm? That does not sound like somewhere I would like to spend eternity. It is what you make it. For some people, it is a terrible place, but only because they brought that terror with them when they died. I believe I lived quite a content life, so my eternity will be quite pleasant. What will your eternity be, I hope it is pleasant as well, and I wish the same for you. No need to wish, I'm fine. Oh my god. I will admit I've had thoughts about that, like, quite a few times, and my mindset is actually kind of the same as hers, to be perfectly honest. I don't believe in something called the Underrealm. I don't call it that, but still. Ooh. Any news on the liberation of the Dark Elves? Mesfit was silent for a while. I have heard that the elders are in talks with my father. Only through intermediaries, however. He still is not allowed to enter the forest. But why not? Mirth can prove that he is harmless. I am quickly finding out who holds the real power in the forest. The druids may own the trees, but the elders own everything in between. But if they are deliberating, then that's progress. It is some progress. You still cannot be optimistic? I will relax my ire the moment my people can live amongst the forest elves and be treated no different. That may take hundreds of years. This upset Mesfit, but he did not shout. I'm also becoming more aware of that. It is unfair and I will fight it every step of the way, but if that is the only way, then I will walk that path with my brothers and sisters. We have been 1,000 years ostracized. I hope it does not take 1,000 more to erase that. Mirf is doing what she can. I believe it will be much less. But even still... Mesfit, you will never be able to live in the forest. You are part demon. I've come to terms with my fate. I am fighting for my kin only. That is enough. What will you do if the Dark Elves are allowed back in the forest and they all leave you behind in the desert? Not all will go. Really? But I thought that was the point. The point is the choice. We were cut off from our homeland. If the forest is opened back up to us, then we will finally choose for ourselves how we may live. I know already that many Dark Elves will remain in the desert. What about your father? He deserves to live in the forest. He has dreamed of it for a long time. I hope that he gets that chance in his lifetime. Thank you. Aw, that was a sweet moment right there. Let me just cycle through just in case. And then we'll head to Chambar's hut. Hopefully we will be able to find a way to help our sisters. In the meantime, though, I am out of time, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you did, I encourage you to leave a like and comment, as it helps and benefits the growth of the channel and tells me you guys are enjoying this. I'm Rye. Happy gaming, everybody. See you soon.